Hello and welcome to the lecture series on monetary economics. In the previous classes, we have seen the definition of a bank, the definition of a commercial bank. Thereafter, we have seen the main services rendered by a commercial bank as well as the functions of a commercial bank. After that, I gave you the distinction between a public sector bank, a private bank, a foreign bank and a regional rural bank. Thereafter, we have also seen one of the very important commercial banks, or to be very precise, a public sector bank in India, which is the State Bank of India. Today, I will be talking about the another leg of public sector banks in India, which is also called as the nationalized banks or other nationalized banks in India apart from the State Bank of India. So let's get started. First of all, we should understand what does nationalization means to understand nationalized banks, and therefore nationalization means the state ownership of an entity. And in this case, what had happened is a bank was the entity which was taken over by the public sector, the government or the state. Yeah, so therefore anything which is seen to be nationalized, that means the underlying process is called as nationalization, and the process nationalization means taking over by an entity, by the state or by the public or government, to be very precise. Now let us see, when did this happen first in India, because it is an interesting question. So it happened in India for the first time in 1951 when a report was submitted by the Committee of Direction of All India Rural Credit Society under the aegis of Reserve Bank of India, and this report recommended that there should be one strong integrated state partnered commercial bank in India. So this was the recommendation which was given in 1951 by a committee under the aegis of Reserve Bank of India, and the directions or recommendations were accepted, and as a result of this we have the creation of State Bank of India in 1955, which made sure that there is one strong integrated public partnered or state partnered commercial bank in India. If you have not seen the history or the details with respect to State Bank of India, I have made a video particularly talking about all of that. I will just give the link in the description, so you can please go and check that. Furthermore, now we have seen how the first step was initiated. Furthermore, in 1955, State Bank of India was established as one strong integrated state partnered commercial bank. Furthermore, a number of other banks in the princely states, if you have seen the history of India, there were around 550 odd princely states in India, and they also had their individual banks operating at least in their domain, and therefore these banks were made the subsidiaries of the State Bank of India in 1959. So therefore you can see now how the national control or the state control is penetrating in the banking sector, or to be very precise in the commercial banking sector in India, initiated from 1951. So I hope the idea of what nationalization means and when the first step had happened is pretty much clear. Another important thing happened in the 1969 to be very precise. In 1969 July, another 14 major commercial banks were nationalized. To do what? To make sure that banking services, banking business reach to the grassroots level, credit reaches to the grassroots level, as well as there is mobilization of funds from general public as well as different players in the market. So these were the reasons why 14 banks were nationalized in 1969 in India, in July 1969. Thereafter, this is again another milestone which was achieved in terms of nationalization. There's one more which was achieved in the 1980s when 6 other banks were nationalized, making sure that 85% of the commercial banking in India was owned by the state or the public sector, which is the government of India. So you can see how nationalization penetrated in the Indian banking sector, to be very precise the commercial banking sector. So this is how you can look at nationalization on a very comprehensive scale. I have for you here the list of 14 banks which were nationalized in 1969 as well as the list of 6 banks which were nationalized in the 1980s. So let us look at which were the banks. You will also find these banks still operating in India, and these banks are the Central Bank of India, the Bank of India, then we have the Punjab National Bank, then we have the Bank of Baroda, then we have the United Commercial Bank, then we have the Canara Bank, then we have the United Bank of India, then we have Dena Bank, then we have the Syndicate Bank, the Union Bank of India, the Allahabad Bank, the Indian Bank, the Bank of Maharashtra, and last is the Indian Overseas Bank. So you can see that there are some of the banks which are still operating in India as nationalized banks, which were nationalized in 1969. Yeah, so this is the list of the 14 banks. Thereafter, I also have the list of 6 banks which were nationalized in the 1980s, and they are the Andhra Bank, then we have the Corporation Bank, then we have the New Bank of India, the Oriental Bank of Commerce, the Punjab and Sindh Bank, and the Vijaya Bank. There's another important thing which you should note here is that Vijaya Bank as well as Dena Bank, that is one bank from the nationalized banks in 1969 as well as one bank from the banks which were nationalized in 1980s. These two banks were merged, or to be very precise, merged is not a right word, amalgamated with another big bank which is Bank of Baroda in 2019. This is done to make sure that a big bank takes care of the smaller banks which are fragile, which do not have that much strength to survive in the market, and as a result of that, to make Bank of Baroda more stronger, or vis-a-vis to make sure that these banks should not go down, that is Dena Bank as well as Vijaya Bank, they were amalgamated with Bank of Baroda in 2019. So this is how you can look at nationalization of banks, or nationalization of public sector banks, to nationalization of banks which obviously becomes public sector when they are owned by the state or the public. So I hope the idea is pretty much clear. In the next lecture, I'll talk about some of the major details of nationalized banks, because see here you can see that 14, these 6 are from here, that is 20 plus SBI and its associates, that is more or less coming out to be 27 odd banks are under public sector banks, but that is not the case. Currently we have lesser banks as compared to what we had in the 1980s. So please stay tuned. I'll be talking about more details with respect to nationalized banks in the next lecture. Thereafter, I'll talk about a very general idea of the organizational structure of any public sector bank and move to private sector bank, then foreign banks and regional rural banks. So please stay tuned. Thank you so much.